Hello everyone. So in this session we are going to talk about the double fertilization. In the previous session I was telling about the double fertilization, only a little bit I explained about the double fertilization, and moreover in the yesterday's session we talked about the pole and pistil interaction and then artificial hybridization, how the emasculation takes place, how the bagging used to run by plant breeders. After all those, we are going to study the double fertilization. As you know, the fertilization takes place 2 times in angiosperms. So, though it is known as double fertilization, how it takes place? The pollen grain, when it sits on the stigma of the pistil, it carries the pollen grain when it sits on the stigma. However, the pollen grain, it germinates the pollen tube through the stigma and then style, and it reaches to the ovary through the micropylar region. It enters into the ovule. There, inside the ovule, the pollen tube, that not the ovule. Remember, to the synergids it releases the male gametes, both the male gametes it releases. How the male gametes comes in the pollen tube? When the vegetative cell, it penetrates or it germinates the pollen tube when it sits on the stigma. There itself the vegetative cell carries the generative cell. When we studied the structure of pollen grain, we studied only one generative cell, but at the time of pollen tube germination the generative cell splits or it takes mitotic division. So after that, so we have a structure of double fertilization here. Let me tell you about that. Double fertilization. As I told you, the pollen grain, it has started its journey, pollen tube formation, and it releases the male gametes to the synergids. Here both are the synergids. One male gamete fuses with the egg cell. It results in, or it is known as syngamy. That syngamy results in the formation of zygote, which is a diploid cell. So here when the male gamete, when it releases inside the pollen tube releases the male gametes, one of the male gamete fuses with the egg cell. Egg cell and male gamete, they both fuse with one another. That fusion is known as syngamy, and the resultant product will be zygote, and the ploidy number will be 2n. And then after that, out of 2 male gamete, one is over now. The one more male gamete travels to the polar nuclei. So this is the polar nuclei. Here it is having 2 cells or 2 nuclei, you can call it as. One more gamete, another gamete, male gamete it is, another male gamete, it passes or it reaches to the polar nuclei. It reaches to the polar nuclei. So after the polar nuclei, when it reaches to the polar nuclei, there the fusion takes place. That fusion is known as triple fusion. Why it is known as triple fusion? Because already 2 polar nuclei were there. With that, one male gamete fuses with the polar nuclei, it becomes 3. So it is known as triple fusion. The triple fusion resultant product will be primary endosperm nucleus. In short, we are going to call that as PEN. So that's all about the fusion. That's why it is known as double fertilization. In angiosperms, double fertilization takes place. After what happens, what will happen to the synergids and antipodal cells and the integuments, ovules? So this is what you have to observe today. So listen to me carefully. These two synergids, what I am telling you now, so that is all about the, let me tell you a few more points regarding to the primary endosperm nucleus. The primary endosperm nucleus is this. The nucleus or the cell which contain the primary endosperm nucleus is known as primary endosperm cell. What is this? So in short we can call it as PEC. So what is PEC? PEC is a cell having primary endosperm nucleus. So this is the nucleus which get combined with the male gamete. It is having, so let me label that. This is not the polar nuclei now. So this is the PEN now. So the cell which is having PEN is known as primary endosperm nucleus. That primary endosperm nucleus develops into endosperm. So now you can call it as the endosperm now. After that, after all those things, let me tell you about the post-fertilization events. Post-fertilization events. After fertilization, what will happen? What will happen to the antipodal cells and then synergids and then integuments? We'll see. Here I'll list out all those things, all those events. So one thing is what we are going to study now. We are studying the events happening in the ovule or in the ovary. When? After the fertilization. The fertilization is over now. Double fertilization has taken place. We have the zygote here. We have the PEN here. Now, so this is the chalazal end and this is the micropylar end, as you know. Okay, so the cells which is present near the chalazal end are known as antipodal cells. 3 antipodal cells degenerate. They'll just vanish, they'll just disintegrate. Why? Because the work is done now. The fertilization is over now. So the antipodal cells, they degenerate. After fertilization, the events I am telling you, here the 3 antipodal cells, they degenerate. Now coming to the synergids. Synergids, these are present at the micropylar end. They 2 synergids are present. They both having filiform apparatus. The function of filiform apparatus is they guide the pollen tube to enter inside the synergid. So these 2 synergids also, 2 synergids degenerate. Okay, so this is done now. Now, think this is the this is the ovary, right? So this ovary develops into fruit. Okay, so this is the ovary. Inside the ovary, number of cells are present. So that ovary develops into fruit. And now, so this is the ovule here. Here we are having the ovule. Right, that ovule develops into seed. Why it becomes seed now? Because the fertilization is done now. So that's why the ovule develops into seed. Here one more thing is there. What is this? inner integument, outer integument. One more inner layer and outer layer is present, which covers the ovule, or which protects the nucellus mass of cells. That integuments develops into, or it converts into integuments, develops into seed coat, right? So one more is there. So post fertilization event, note down 3 antipodal cells, they degenerate, which is near to the chalazal end. 2 synergids degenerate after work done. Ovary, so this is the ovary that develops into fruit, and the ovule, so this is the ovule, that ovule, this is not ovule, this is the ovule, that ovule develops into seed. These integuments, it develops into seed coat. Here the zygote is present. That zygote, I didn't mention about the zygote here, no. So the zygote, it converts to, or it forms the embryo. Through the embryo, from the embryo, the plant arises. And after that, one more thing I have to tell here. I told you, this is the, what I called you, this one. So this is the PEN, and then the PEN, the cell which consists of PEN is the PEC, which converts, or which forms into primary endosperm tissues, a mass of tissues it forms. That mass of tissues, let me erase these all, let me erase this also. Here we are having the zygote, here we are having the PEN. So this part is there, no, this part leaving the zygote, that part it develops into endosperm. From where the endosperm is coming? From the primary endosperm nucleus, primary endosperm cell, they develop, they again takes mitotic divisions, they form number of tissues. That tissues results in the formation of, or you can call it as endosperm, you can call it as. So what is the function of endosperm? Why it is necessary? Why it develops? Why not it degenerate with the antipodal cells and synergids? You might have heard about the seeds, the function of seeds. Seeds are very essential part. If we consume the seeds, we'll get energy, we'll get calories, we'll get proteins. I'll tell you. Remember these words, I'll tell you what is the function of endosperm, and then how the zygote, now it is not a zygote. Now this zygote, it will develop into embryo, no. So that embryo, will study the structure of embryo, and then with that we'll study the structure of endosperm also. First we'll start with the description, the study of endosperm. Endosperm from the primary endosperm nucleus, that is PEN. The primary endosperm cell, and then this cell, it converts, or it will divide into number of cells, forming a endosperm tissue. It is not at all a primary now, endosperm tissue, and then that endosperm tissue we can call it as endosperm. Here it takes number of steps or the stages. So you got this thing now, primary endosperm nucleus. So this is the resultant product of triple fusion. the nucleus which contain the central cell which is having this nucleus is known as primary endosperm cell. The central cell what we were talking about in the embryo sac, no, that cell is known as primary endosperm cell. Why we are calling this primary endosperm cell? Because it is having PEN. Why it become PEN? Because it get fused with the male gamete. Okay, so this cell, only one cell, it take division, multiple division, and it converts into tissue. That tissue or that thing is known as endosperm now. Now, listen to me. So here there are three types of endosperm. One is nuclear endoplasma or plasmic development. Let me tell you. So after division, mitotic division, after the endospermic cells, in the endospermic cells, the mitotic division takes place. It becomes tissue now. So the tissue will not be there. It won't remain as it is. It further develops. And then what happens? That development, if we talk about that development, in few angiospermic species, the development of angiosperm is of nuclear type, and in some angiospermic species the development is of cellular, that is cellular endoplasmic development. And then the third one is halobial endoplasmic, make it correct, it is not endoplasmic, it is endospermic. Endospermic development, there also endospermic development. Nuclear endospermic development. So we are talking about the three types of endosperm, right? So endosperm three types means based on the development of endosperm, it has been classified into three types. One is nuclear, cellular, halobial. Okay, so we'll study one by one by drawing the diagram of each. The first one is nuclear type of endospermic development. What happens here? Here the endosperm, it takes division. Let me write only the embryo sac here. So earlier I used to mention this part as chalazal end and then this part as micropyle end, right? I'll just change only for diagram, I'm just changing. So consider this is the micropylar end and this is the chalazal end. Chalazal end. So if we draw this type of diagram, it means towards the micropylar region zygote comes. So here, why it came here? Towards the micropylar region, synergids, egg apparatus were there. Out of egg apparatus, one egg cell was there. To the egg cell, male gamete come and get fused. After that, zygote forms. So that zygote is, it will be here. That is near to the micropylar end. This is the zygote. And here, it will be the PEN. Having number of tissues here. Now this is the endosperm. Okay. Now the endospermic development, we are talking about the endospermic development. The first one is nuclear endospermic development. How the tissues divide mitotically. Let me explain you this nucleus. This nucleus, it takes multiple division. multiple division, it means one nucleus it become two nucleus, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, number of nucleus. Here it forms only nucleus. Okay, no cytoplasmic division takes place in the primary stage. Later on development, the cytoplasmic changes takes place. I'll tell you later. So the PEN took karyokinetic division. It means mitosis has taken place. The mitosis results in the number of nuclei. These nuclei will be free in nature. It won't get connected or it won't get settled. It won't be settled to any position. So this type of free nuclei development is known as, we can call it as free nuclear endospermic development. So next, what will happen next? So these free nuclei, after certain stage, after certain time, the cytoplasmic division takes place only at the peripheral region. This wall is there, no, to the peripheral position, the cytoplasmic division takes place. Cytoplasmic division in sense, in the cytoplasm divisions occur. That division results in the formation of peripheral cell walls, so that each cell consists of one nucleus, like this. So what we are having now, at the middle portion free nucleus are there, at the peripheral part cell wall forms, and then each cell having one nucleus. So this type of division is known as, or this type of development is known as nuclear endospermic development or free nuclear division you can call. Okay, so that's all about the nuclear endospermic development. If we move on to the cellular endospermic development, cellular, let the diagram remain same, only in the PEN changes occurs. So everything will be remain same, the micropylar end, the chalazal end. So this is the zygote and the PEN. In the earlier stage, the mitotic division took place in the nucleus, results in the formation of free nuclei, multiple free nuclei. But in the cellular endospermic development, the karyokinesis occurs, no doubt. But immediately the cytoplasm also divides, so that it results in the formation of number of cells inside the endosperm, like this. So these all changes or these all development taking place inside this embryo sac. Okay, so this is the cellular type of endospermic development. And then third type is, let me erase this also, they all remain same, helobial endospermic development. In this, so this is the helobial endospermic development is the intermediate development. Intermediate development, it means the nuclear endospermic development and cellular endoplasmic development, endospermic development, they both involve in the helobial endospermic development. It means the half of the endosperm will divide in the form of cellular endospermic development, and towards the chalazal end, the part is there, no, this end is there, no, this will, it won't divide at all, no. So this is a little bit, I'll change here. So this is the embryo sac. Here this part, in this part, in the helobial endospermic development, this part took place, or in this part nuclear endospermic development takes place, where it will be having number of free nuclei, and at the terminal position this basal embryo sac or embryo cell, this portion took place the cellular type of development. It means nucleus, and then each nucleus, after a division of nucleus, cytokinesis occurs, and then next it keep on going, it keep on taking the divisions. And then here we call I told you about the free nuclear type of endospermic development. No, after certain period, after a certain time, at the peripheral part cell wall forms. So this is all about the helobial endospermic development. Let me tell you one interesting concept in the endosperm. I think you might have familiar with the tender coconut. So the water of tender coconut, let me tell you the interesting concept of water of tender coconut. The water which is present in the fruit of coconut is nothing but free nuclei. So water is nothing but free nuclei. It means in the coconut, or when the flower of coconut, the coconut flower, when it fertilizes, after fertilization in the embryo sac, endosperms divides, development takes place. What type of development taking place in the coconut? That is nuclear type of development takes place. Actually that is wrong. I'll tell you. I'll tell you one more thing here. So this is the water which is present in the tender coconut is nothing but free nuclei. How it become free nuclei? Because number of division takes place in the endospermic cell. Okay, so that results in the formation of free nuclei. That is nothing but water. When the coconut matures, when it matures, the water, it reduces, right? And then you might have seen this part in the coconut. I have taken the transfer section of coconut. Just think this as a transfer section of coconut, and this is the white part what I am mentioning here, and the water is lesser number than compared to tender coconut. The water which is present in the tender coconut is nothing but free nuclei. Now what I am telling you, after maturation, in the coconut the water is not more than compared to tender coconut. So this is nothing but the cells which get developed around the or peripheral part of the coconut. So this is the endosperm, and that is the free nuclei type of division took place in the coconut. So actually in the coconut they both development takes place. So here the nuclei, after the division of nuclei, cells also divide. After the division of cells, the thick part it forms in the coconut, that part is known as, actually I have written here as endosperm. Actually that is not an endosperm. It is mentioned as kernel of what is that, coconut. So both the development is seen in the coconut. In the primary stage or in the tender coconut, free nuclei is present inside the fruit. It is known as, or we can call it as, tender coconut water. After maturation, we found a thick layer at the peripheral part of the coconut, that is known as kernel. That is nothing but division of cells. And after that, if we observe, so this is the edible part, the kernel. Why it is used in the spices or for the consuming purpose? Many people used to use this, okay, kernel. Why it is edible part? Because it is proteinaceous. number of proteins are present in the kernel, and it is rich in, what is that? Let me write it in a proper manner. Rich in starch and having proteins where in the kernel. So not only coconut but all seeds endospermic part will be very nutritive part. It will be a nutritive part. Though that's why the endospermic part or the seeds are considered as nutritious, and that nutrition it is supplied to the, let me write that also, the endospermic nutritious part supplied to the zygote for the further development. The zygote, it forms the embryo, and then embryo it further develops into number of stages that I'll tell you. So this endosperm, which is rich in number of proteins and then vitamins and then everything, so that reserve food material what it is having, no, that reserve food materials is supplied to the zygote for the development. Okay, one more thing is that that is groundnut. So in the groundnut, the endosperm is completely absent. Why it become absent? Because the endosperm is completely consumed by zygote. So this is also one type of seed where the seed is, the groundnut is completely consumed by zygote. So what is there? If you consume or if you look at the groundnut, I am taking a half section of groundnut. Here it will be having a zygote or the embryo. This part is there. No, this is not the embryo. This is the cotyledon. So which will be the nutritious part now? I used to tell in the class, consume, eat groundnut, it is healthier, it is proteinaceous, it is having much reserve food materials. So it is not having endosperm at all. The endosperm is completely consumed by zygote. That zygote will be in this place. Don't call this as zygote. Please use the word what is that? Embryo. And the embryo is surrounded by two cotyledons. That cotyledons will be rich in proteins and vitamins. So with this, I'll stop this session now. In the next session, we'll talk about the embryo, how the embryo develops, how it converts or how it changes its stages. What is the actual word we used to take for the development of embryo? We'll talk about that tomorrow, and make sure you have understood about the endosperm. If you have any doubts, please ask me. I'll make it clear. Thank you.